Every day, thousands of small channels give up and never succeed on YouTube, and it's not because they were bad at making videos or they didn't put enough time or effort in. Instead, it's because they gave up and they didn't keep pushing to succeed on YouTube. If it's your first time watching, my name is John, and I've run multiple successful YouTube channels over the past 10 years, and I built this channel with the purpose of teaching you so that you don't make the same mistakes that I made on my YouTube journey. And today we're going to talk about the invisible growth phase on YouTube. So what exactly is this concept called the invisible growth phase? Well, it's a concept that I made up after studying dozens of different channels, and I realized that most of them have this phase in common with little to no exceptions. And pretty much what I like to call the invisible growth phase is when channels are uploading for months or even years with little to no growth on their actual channel statistics, but their video quality and everything about their content is actually growing, but it just doesn't show in the numbers. So I'll show you what I mean with a popular example here. So here is a prime example of the invisible growth phase, and we'll use Mr. Beast as an example, one of the most popular YouTubers on the platform. And we can see that his channel now gets 100 million views per video on a lot of his content. We can see here by looking at his oldest videos that these videos were pretty low quality and he didn't really know what he was doing. And I guarantee you these videos are getting less than 100 views. And of course we can see now they have millions of views, but that's just because people have gone back and watched them. And if we go all the way down here, we can actually see that by going down here, it took him this many videos and over 2 years to get to 1,000 subscribers on his channel. So the first 2 years of his channel, he only had 1,000 subscribers after creating all these videos. And these videos right here are a prime example of what the invisible growth phase is. And that is a phase where your channel is not really growing that much, but you're learning the ropes of YouTube and how to make better content over time. Now, this is the reason why thousands of small channels fail every day. It's because they're in this invisible growth phase where you're making content, but you're not really growing your channel yet because you're still learning the ropes of making good videos, and you have to learn by constantly making repetitions. This is exactly when thousands of small channels fail and they never succeed on YouTube. It's because they're making content during this phase of learning and growing their YouTube skills, and then they give up because they're not seeing results in terms of views or subscribers. But the truth is, with your first 50 or 100 videos, unless you really know what you're doing already, you're probably not going to see a lot of growth on your channel. There's another way that I like to look at this phase, and I like to call it the preparation phase. And that's because this is where you're preparing your content for your audience, and you're not going to get an audience until your content is ready. So I like to look at this in a way such as if you're learning any other skill. So if you were learning how to play basketball and you're playing all the time, you're going to see results right away that your playing's getting better, you're able to hit more shots, and maybe you'll do better against your friends. But with YouTube, when you're putting in those first reps, making those first 50 to 100 videos, you actually probably won't see very much results at all in terms of views and how many likes you're getting and how many subscribers you have. Instead, the momentum slowly builds over time. And then once you finally get the hang of YouTube and get past this phase, you'll see all of those results coming all at once. And this is the point where most small channels give up because they keep putting in more and more work without seeing any more results. So they're not getting that positive feedback loop. So then they stop uploading and then they never succeed on YouTube. Whereas as soon as you get past that point, you finally see all of that work and all of that time and effort has actually contributed to making your channel better, and then you start to see results on your channel. I almost made this exact same mistake on my first channel pretty much 10 years ago, where I had about 50 videos on my channel that were only getting 10 to 20 views each, maybe even 30. I was happy with 30 views, and I wasn't seeing any results on those videos. I kept uploading and the results weren't going up, so I almost gave up. But then what happens is that you push through, and then eventually you'll start to see growth and momentum build on your channel. So it's definitely worth it. Keep pushing, keep making content, and do not give up. A lot of times, this is what I see posts online of people saying the algorithm is rigged against them. Maybe they're shadow banned on YouTube and they're not getting any views. And the truth is that that is just not the case. It's most likely because either A, your channel's videos are not reaching the correct audience, or B, your content just simply isn't good enough to get people to click and watch the content all the way through. Because I've yet to see a channel with really high average viewer duration and really good click-through rate that is not doing well and being exposed to new audiences and getting impressions on their content. This is often what happens to small channels that you think might have just blown up overnight, where it looks like overnight they managed to get massive momentum and growth on their channel, but in reality they've been uploading for months or maybe even years, and they finally got their videos to a point where they found the right audience, and their audience is really enjoying those videos, clicking on them and watching them because they put in those repetitions and they've spent years or months making their videos better and better over time. Now we're going to talk about how you can improve your content over time to get out of this invisible growth phase and finally see a lot of your audience and viewers that you're looking to get. So this is where the concept comes in of slowly improving your content. Even a 1% increase in content over a couple of weeks or months could make a massive difference in the quality and how good your content is. And you might be wondering, well, why don't I just make my content really good and my next upload go all out and just try everything possible to make it better? Well, there's a reason why you want to slowly stagger these upgrades. And that's because if you make your next video really good, you're not actually going to be able to tell what made your video perform better. Whereas if you make a small change, like a little bit of a better thumbnail, maybe a little bit of a better title, then you'll be able to tell, was it the title, was it the thumbnail that made the video actually do better? Whereas if you're changing too much every single upload, and then you won't be able to tell if the changes you've made are actually having a positive effect, or maybe it was just one of the changes that made the video do better, and all of the other changes that you made actually did nothing. The second reason is that it's actually very useful to have a backlog of videos on your channel. This is why most people tell you to make 50 or 100 uploads, slowly improving things instead of improving everything at once. And that's because every single upload you make helps you to understand how your analytics work, how the algorithm works, click-through rate, average view duration, and all of these things, and how your video will actually impact your channel, etc. Whereas if for your very first upload you have the best content, you're actually going to be farther behind than someone who has uploaded tons of content and already understands how the YouTube platform works and how the algorithm and things affect your content. Now let's get into some actionable steps that you can take to make your next upload better than the last. So number one is by improving your thumbnails. And this is really one of the best things you can improve, because if you make a small change, such as changing your title, maybe changing the color scheme or the way you format your thumbnail, you'll see those results directly on your click-through rate. And then you can see what's working and what's not over time for your thumbnails, in order to craft the best thumbnails that will improve your content. Number two is try new titles. Now this is really important as well. Figure out what's working in your niche, analyze it, and then implement it into your own content. So if you're not already doing this already, go to 3 different channels that make similar videos in your niche, check out their titles, figure out what they're doing, and what you can learn from their titles that they are making on their content. Number 3 is editing. Now there's just so much stuff that you can improve on your edits to help your average viewer duration and your audience engagement, how long they stay watching your content. Things like video quality, audio quality, cuts, and transitions can help you to develop your own unique editing style for your content. Number 4 is delivery, and that's just how you're speaking to the camera, or maybe your camera quality and setup, or how you're speaking to a voiceover if you're just doing a voiceover, or using too many ums or uhs. And this can also make a world of a difference to your quality. Even just trying to remove those ums next time you upload could really help your video quality and your video. Number 5 is SEO, and this is one of the easiest ones to help. You can do things like adding better tags to your content or adding more keywords to your description, and that will slowly improve your content over time. If you're a small channel right now that's consistently improving with every upload and is trying these things, improving thumbnails, video quality, everything, to make your videos better, and you're not really seeing much results, well, you're actually in the most difficult part of your YouTube journey right now, because this is where you're putting in work without seeing results. It's much easier in the future when you finally have that positive feedback loop where you can actually see that the work you're putting in is actually contributing to more views and more results. So push forward, get through this part of your journey, and trust me, it's well worth it. Now I'm going to reveal to you a simple action plan if you're in this phase of your YouTube journey that you can use to succeed with your channel. The first thing you have to do is really commit to uploading no matter what, and I mean really commit. There's many channels I've had where I've gone months of uploading and then giving up just because I wasn't seeing results. But if I'd spent a couple more months uploading to that channel, I would have started to see results, and that channel would have succeeded eventually if you just keep uploading and keep improving your content every single upload, making something better. Now, of course, if you're not improving content, you're just uploading for the sake of uploading, this is not going to work. You have to actually improve your content every single upload if you want to see results and find success with your channel. Once you're committed, make an attainable goal that you feel is realistic that you could achieve. For example, uploading 50 times in the next year. Now, 50 videos might sound like a lot, but it's actually not if you spread it out over a year, because it's only one upload every single week. Whereas if you're trying to upload 100 videos in 6 months and that's your goal, don't set goals like I used to, where I'd set a goal like uploading 100 videos in 6 months, which is 4 videos every single week. And then I would end up falling below that goal and it would just completely crush my motivation. So make sure that you're setting realistic and attainable goals that you can easily crush and then feel good about after once you pass them. The next step that is really critical for this to work is every time you upload, analyze your content and improve your content somehow. Look at what's working, what's not, who your audience is, how you can make your content better, and really make sure that you're thinking strategically and not just uploading for the sake of uploading, because this will eventually lead to momentum on your channel, and if you do it right, success in your YouTube journey. The last step I recommend is to go to the link down below and join my brand new community, where you can join in twice weekly live Q&A calls with me and the rest of the community. And you can also talk with the community at any time and get them to hold you accountable for things. And you can also access over 70 different modules that I made like this, where I'm talking to you and helping you succeed with your channel. So click down below if you don't want to miss out. The first 25 members get in for free. Thanks for watching.